Hey everybody, welcome back. Now the price of ADA is up 50% in a week, adding a whopping $20 billion to its market cap on the back of SundaeSwap's imminent mainnet launch. Now right now there's tremendous buy-side pressure for ADA as investors get ready for all the juicy DeFi opportunities like providing liquidity, staking and farming, all that good jazz that will soon arrive. Right now I'm looking at the testnet right here, but on January the 20th we'll finally get to play on the mainnet. Very exciting. Now in this video, we're going to cover 4 things. Number 1, what to expect with the ADA price action coming up, right? Will this be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event? And number 2, very importantly, how to participate in SundaeSwap's ISO, or initial stake pool offering for its new Sundae token. An ISO is very similar to an ICO or an IDO on the other blockchains, except you can claim free Sundae tokens just by staking your ADA tokens. This is actually a fundraising launchpad system that's unique to Cardano. Now I'm very excited about this and I can't overstate how easy it is to claim these Sundae tokens. So you won't need to spend money buying the token like you do on an ICO or an IDO. You don't even need to interact with any launchpad platform, and you certainly won't need to fight others to secure an allocation. All you gotta do is delegate the ADA in your current Cardano Web3 wallet such as Yoroi here into one of 30 special staking pools called ISO scoopers in order to get your free Sundae tokens over the next month. So for a lot of you who are already staking your ADA, it's a simple change of staking pools, which takes a few clicks. In fact, some of you may already be staking in one of these 30 pools here, which means you don't have to do anything. You're already set. If you missed out on the free 400 Uniswap token airdrop that happened a while ago, which was basically a free $7,000 giveaway looking at current uni prices, you don't want to miss out on this ISO, as SundaeSwap is thought of as the Uniswap and PancakeSwap of Cardano. Thirdly, in this video, besides the good, I also want to talk about the bad and the ugly. It's not all going to be roses and rainbows. To put it simply, the state of the Cardano network as it currently stands is not going to allow this DEX to scale to something as performant as Uniswap. And you need to know what to expect as both a DeFi user wanting to use SundaeSwap soon and as a trader who might be more concerned with the ADA price action. There's probably going to be a lot of FUD spreading on the internet once the DEX launches, and you need to be ready for that. I'll explain why in the video. Finally, for those who are new to DeFi on Cardano, in this video I'll briefly cover things such as how staking works, what the so-called concurrency issues have been, how SundaeSwap deals with them using scoopers, and how initial stake pool offerings, ISOs, work compared to ICOs and IDOs, and so on. Alright, be sure to like and subscribe, turn on that notification bell to stay up to date. Without further ado, let's dive on in. Okie dokie, so SundaeSwap's mainnet launch is going to be on Thursday, January the 20th, and this is by far the most anticipated and hyped up launch on Cardano. Now, a major decentralized exchange, or DEX, now that underpins any DeFi ecosystem, right? So this launch is considered by many to be the grand opening of Cardano's DeFi scene. Finally, after all these years, think of this as Cardano's Uniswap moment. Now, to be fair, Uniswap actually did beat SundaeSwap to the Cardano mainnet, launching in December 2021. And there are actually a ton of Cardano DEXs in the works. It's a pretty heated contest at the moment. But right now, everyone's eyes are focused on the big daddy SundaeSwap's launch coming up. Now, off the bat, when the DEX launches, you'll be able to provide liquidity for 4 pairs, which means there's going to be 4 pairs ready for trading on day 1. But that comes with a big asterisk concerning network congestion and performance, which I'll talk about later on. Okay, so you can pair up ADA and Sundae into the liquidity pool. Now, Sundae is SundaeSwap's native token, and this is the token they're basically giving away as part of the ISO, which I'll talk about shortly. Look, everyone who has ADA should participate in this. There's no reason not to. You're basically getting free money. Okay, so ADA and Liquid Finance. So this is a lending protocol seeking to challenge players like Aave and Compound. You've got ADA and World Mobile Token, which is part of Cardano's Africa push, right? Extending mobile coverage across the continent. Very cool stuff. And finally, you've got ADA and Card Starter, a native Cardano launchpad that's going to be used to launch new crypto startups on Cardano in the future. Now, as usual, being a liquidity provider will earn you trading fees, a source of passive income. Now, at the same time, you'll be given liquidity pool or LP tokens, which you can then stake in farms to earn LP staking rewards, a second source of passive income, which typically has a very high APY to offset the impermanent loss risks. Now, what's extra cool about this is no matter which pair you provide liquidity for, it doesn't have to be the pair with Sundae in it. You're still going to get extra Sundae on top for 6 months. For example, if I buy some ADA and WMT and add them to the pool and then stake the LP tokens, I'm going to be accruing more ADA and WMT, and I'm going to get some free SUNDAE on top as well. And if the impermanent loss is too risky for your tastes, don't worry about playing with liquidity provision at all. You don't have to do any of this. You can simply do what the majority of Cardano DeFi participants plan to do, which is to stake ADA from a Web3 wallet such as Yoroi to earn some free SUNDAE tokens as part of the SundaeSwap ISO, initial stake pool offering, right? Very similar idea to ICOs and IDOs in that ISOs are used to raise capital for new projects in exchange for new tokens landing in the hands of investors. In fact, all the way back in Q2 2021, SundaeSwap was initially planning to do an IDO on the Binance Smart Chain, but then they moved to native Cardano, and then regulatory concerns basically forced their hand and turned their launch into an ISO, where they're now going to give away 5% of the SUNDAE supply, that's 100 million SUNDAE tokens, to ADA stakers, perhaps like you and I. Alright, so how do you participate? Well, it's really easy. If you're already staking your ADA on a Web3 wallet such as Yoroi, you simply need to make sure that the staking pool you've chosen is one of these 30 special pools known as a scooper. Now, scoopers, they're actually just ordinary staking pool operators, or SPOs, but were voted in by the community to serve as a trusted node for the ISO for the purposes of distributing these new tokens. Now stay tuned, I've got more to say about scoopers later on. Okay, so right now I'm delegating my stake with the Cardano.io staking pool operator, and I have been for quite a while. And this is actually one of the 30 scoopers, which means I don't have to do anything, right? I can just sit tight and wait for my SUNDAE rewards. Now I can double check this information on adapools.org. So if I grab the link to the pool, right, I can see right here via this icon, this is indeed a scooper for the ISO. All right, so Cardano.io is a partner with SundaeSwap. But hey, look down here, look at the saturation, right? 99%. All right, this pool is almost saturated. In fact, you'll find that a number of pools belonging to these staking pool operators, these scoopers, are close to saturation or are already saturated, right? Which means you're going to start seeing diminishing returns on your ADA rewards, not your SUNDAE reward, right? This won't affect the SUNDAE rewards you get as part of the ISO, but it will affect the ADA rewards that you get as part of your staking. So that means you probably want to switch to a pool that isn't as saturated. Now, a great site to use is poolpeak.com, which actually compiles the list of the 30 scoopers and tells you the saturation of all of the staking pools they're running. So right now, I'm in the Cardanians.io pool, right? Specifically the CRDNS pool, right? Their primary pool, which is 99% saturated, right? So if I want, I could switch to another pool with a lower saturation. I can switch to any of these on the list. They're all part of the SundaeSwap ISO. I just need to be cognizant of how saturated the pools are. Okay, you don't want to choose it. Now, in terms of key dates, if you want to participate for the entire ISO period, you should delegate your stake by January the 25th. That's roughly when the snapshot for the first epoch is going to happen. Now, the ISO is going to run over 5 epochs, which is 25 days long, right? Because each epoch is 5 days long. Now, during each epoch, they're going to give away 1% of the SUNDAE circulating supply, right? Distributed to stakers in the 30 ISO scoopers that we looked at earlier. That's proportional to your ADA stake. So the more ADA you stake, the more SUNDAE you're going to get. Okay, so now I want to quickly rack off some FAQs about SundaeSwap and DeFi on Cardano. So first up, can I participate by staking ADA on an exchange, right? Such as Binance or a fintech such as eToro or Crypto.com? So the answer is no, you need to stake on a self-custody Web3 wallet such as Yoroi or Daedalus or Nami and so on. Next question, how do I stake ADA on a Web3 wallet? Now, please see my dedicated video on how to stake Cardano. I'll link that above. It's very comprehensive. So in short, for say Yoroi, as an example, you download the Chrome plugin and then you make a new wallet, which is going to take you 2 minutes. Make sure to remember the seed phrase, write that down somewhere securely, and then transfer over some ADA from an exchange. And that's pretty much it. I will mention that Cardano offers one of the best staking experiences of any blockchain because number one, any ADA in your wallet is automatically staked, right? In fact, you're basically staking your wallet. And this means that there's no minimum amount that's required to stake. Rewards are auto compounded as well because as soon as rewards each epoch land in my wallet, they are automatically staked. And number two, the ADA stays in your wallet, right? So that means there's no smart contract risks because there's no interaction with any staking platforms because you're staking your entire wallet automatically. And that means there's no slashing as well. So if your staking pool operator, SPO, is being naughty, you might get your rewards cut, but the ADA in your wallet, your principal, that stays safe forever. Finally, your ADA is quite liquid, so there's no lockup period. If you want to sell your ADA or move it back into an exchange, you can do that at any time. Alright, next question. Should I use a classic wallet like Yoroi or Daedalus, or one of these newer wallets like Nami that's getting quite popular for dApps? Alright, so here's the thing. It's a great question. Right now, we're still waiting for Yoroi to deploy their dApp connector, which means if you want to interact with SundaeSwap, okay, so that means providing liquidity and swapping and so on, you're going to want to use Nami. Right, if you just want to participate in the ISO, right, by staking ADA in one of the 30 ISO scoopers to earn your Sundae rewards, then Yoroi is fine. Next up, and this is a very important question, will SundaeSwap perform like Uniswap, right? Will there be any nasty surprises on day one? Okay, so this is quite a serious concern, and I'll be upfront. The performance for the first few weeks is expected to be bad. Okay, in fact, SundaeSwap, in the spirit of transparency, the team told the community in no uncertain terms that orders to swap tokens on the DEX will take up to days. Right. Now, frankly speaking, this is unacceptable. It certainly falls below the standard of a working product. The team knows this, which is why they're labeling this launch ultimately a beta release. Okay, now this is the first major launch on the Cardano blockchain where a lot of people, for the very first time, they're going to be trying to transact all at once. And the reality is the Cardano mainnet just isn't ready yet. Hoskinson's engineering team, IOHK, they are quite busy working on the DeFi infrastructure, and over time we're going to see the kind of scalability that we really want to be seeing on day one, but it's just not going to be there on day one. Now you might ask, why not wait, right? Why release into a mess of a situation like this, right? Why can't the Sundae team just prolong the release a bit longer? And I'm guessing the team is launching now because they've done the work on the dApp. Right? They've done their part. They're now just waiting for the upgrades on the Cardano mainnet. They really don't want to put this off any longer, especially as there is a lot of competition out there in the Cardano DEX field. Right? It would be like me saying, look, I'm making a dApp on Ethereum and I'm not going to release it until ETH 2.0 comes out because I want the gas fees to be great. Right? The SundaeSwap team, they've done their bit. Scalability issues are now out of their hands as we all wait for upgrades on the Cardano mainnet, which will probably come around June to July, maybe Q3 with the next hard fork. Right, so I think Q3 and Q4, that's when the Cardano DeFi potential will actually be realized. And for those waiting for a $10 ADA, and I'll link above my 2022 price predictions video. For ADA, if I were you, I'd be hoping for the market cycle bull run to take a bit longer and finish towards the end of 2022, right? So if we're hoping for a massive altcoin blow off top, right, we really should be hoping for one that's coming later on in 2022, as opposed to too early before Cardano has had its chance to make their mainnet truly performant. This brings me to the next question, which is, will the ADA price correct after the SundaeSwap mainnet launch, right? Will this be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event? Look, I think it's more likely than not for a few reasons. So number one, the rest of the market isn't looking so hot right now, right? Although one saving grace is the altcoin dominance continues to look quite strong, which is a strong reason to believe the market cycle bull run isn't over yet. And number two, SundaeSwap's launch is not going to be the clean launch that we wanted to see, right? It's going to be messy, right? We know there's going to be issues with wallet compatibility, with performance, and this is going to provide ammunition to those who don't like Cardano to find any excuse to spread FUD, right? So I think that after the DEX launches, there's a good chance that, you know, people across the internet, especially those that don't like ADA, they're going to say, hey, look, the DEX is crap. Right, you can't even swap, the orders take days to execute, what rubbish. And to me, let's just say it would be surprising if this had no impact on the price action. Next question, will the Sundae tokens be airdropped? No, they won't be airdropped. You'll be able to claim them at some point on a dedicated claim website. More information will be provided at a later date. Next question, must I stake for all 5 epochs? And the answer is no. You can join the party late and start staking during the later epochs, or you can come at the beginning and leave midway through. It's totally up to you. As long as your stake is in one of these 30 pools during the snapshot for any of these 5 epochs, right? So keep in mind these dates here. You'll earn your Sundae rewards for that epoch. Next, how much Sundae will I get? Right, we don't know. It depends on how many participants there are going to be. Generally, your rewards are going to be proportional to your stake. So the more ADA you stake, the more Sundae tokens you will receive. But it's not going to be a direct linear proportion, right? So whales are going to see diminishing returns on their stake. There is going to be some anti-whale mechanisms there. All right, next up, what is pool saturation? Alright, so to help promote decentralization and dissuade any particular node from getting too large and powerful, the Cardano blockchain has this kind of inbuilt rule, which is calibrated by this saturation parameter K, which basically says that when any pool reaches saturation, right, so that's currently around 67 million ADA for the current value of K they're using, then that pool is going to start seeing diminishing returns on their block rewards, right? So the idea here is this will then incentivize stakers who are delegating into the pool to spread their stake out to smaller pools which aren't saturated yet, right? So this helps prevent any particular pool from getting too big. Pretty cool. Okay, so as I promised throughout this video, what's the deal with scoopers? What are they? So in a nutshell, it's basically the approach that SundaeSwap has taken to ensure there's good, what's called concurrency. Now here's the story in a bit more detail. So Cardano, they want to solve the blockchain trilemma, right? They want to make the Cardano blockchain secure, decentralized, and scalable. And as a result, they designed the blockchain around what's called the extended UTXO model. Now what this basically means is that Cardano is actually great at parallelism, unlike Ethereum, but it does suffer what's called concurrency issues if the dexes aren't designed with that in mind. And so every dex, they're going to have their own approach to ensure scalability. And SundaeSwap's approach involves using certain staking pool operators to scoop up a bunch of orders together into a single transaction before adding it to the block. That's their solution. Now, this naturally introduces some centralization because scoopers could act maliciously, right? For example, a scooper could choose to only include buy orders in their transaction, which can then be used to pump up the prices. So a SundaeSwap solution was to let the community pick which staking pool operators should be the scoopers. And so naturally the most trustworthy ones should bubble to the top. Right now, these scoopers are then given an NFT that represents their license to be a scooper, which they can then use to claim their scooper rewards. Now, when scoopers do need to be reassigned, right, because perhaps the current staking pool operator was a bit naughty, the community in the form of a SundaeSwap DAO will vote in a new scooper. Pretty cool, hey? All right, next question, ISOs versus ICOs and IDOs. So from the perspective of investors, people like you and I participating, ISOs are, number one, they're very easy to use, right? If you know how to stake your ADA on Yoroi, then you know how to participate in an ISO. And number two, ISOs are pretty much risk-free as I'm getting the tokens for free through staking, right? So I simply stake my ADA in the right staking pool, I get my usual ADA staking rewards, and I get my new Sundae tokens, right? It really doesn't get any simpler than that. With ICOs and IDOs, I actually have to deploy my capital to buy the tokens, and the prices upon public launch, they tend to swing quite violently. I'll link my TrustSwap IDO video above where I describe a typical IDO process from beginning to end. It's a great watch. Now this brings me to the final question. What is the SundaeSwap taste test? Now, like I just said, you get crazy volatility when a new token gets launched via an ICO or an IDO. There's often huge buying pressure for really good projects, while at the same time, those who got in at bargain prices are going to want to dump their bags. So to address the issue of the Sundae token potentially going berserk, up and down in price, the dev team was planning to try out a novel way to stabilize the price of the Sundae token before it went public. And this has actually been abandoned for SundaeSwap's launch in a couple of days' time, and many investors didn't like it anyway because they wanted to retain the ability to dump the token for a nice profit, right? If you kill the volatility before the trading begins, well, you can't really pump and dump, right? All right, folks, let's leave it there. If you found this video helpful, please drop a like to support the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date. Have a great day or evening wherever you are, and I shall see you in the next one.